Doesn't it just gnaw at you? That persistent, almost maddening feeling of watching a team with all the pieces, all the star power, yet still searching for that elusive, consistent spark? In a city where every puck drop is dissected with surgical precision, every goal celebrated with fervent, almost religious passion, and every whisper of discontent amplified to a roaring crescendo, how does a superstar quietly ignite a scoring surge without anyone truly noticing? And in the midst of this subtle brilliance, can a team still grappling with fundamental questions about its identity and energy truly find its championship stride? Because right now, that's the perplexing, exhilarating, and sometimes utterly frustrating reality for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A franchise under the intense, unblinking glare of the hockey world, showing tantalizing flashes of what they could be, while still wrestling with the nagging doubts of what they haven't yet become. Are you tired of the whispers, the nagging doubts that cling to even the brightest stars? Does the thought of a championship contender standing still, seemingly hesitant, while the clock ticks relentlessly, fill you with a restless energy, a burning desire for decisive action? The Toronto Maple Leafs are a team of paradoxes this season. They're winning. They're showing resilience, grinding out victories even when not at their best. And their biggest star is quietly, almost stealthily, returning to dominant form. Yet, a collective breath is still held tight as the faithful navigate the intricate, often frustrating dance of the NHL season, searching for that elusive, consistent jump that transforms a good team into a truly great one. We're talking about the relentless pursuit of that missing piece, that top six forward who could be the difference maker, the catalyst for a deep playoff run. But here's the twist, the agonizing reality. Sometimes, even the most aggressive hunters must master the art of patience. And sometimes, the biggest stories are unfolding right under our noses, overshadowed by the noise, the drama, and the relentless churn of the hockey news cycle. For months, the hockey world has buzzed with narratives surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs, each one vying for attention. The monumental milestone of John Tavares' 500th career goal, a testament to enduring excellence and a career built on unwavering dedication, rightly commanded attention, a moment of pure celebration. The return of Scott Laughton to the lineup, providing a much-needed boost of veteran presence and grit, offered a glimmer of hope, a sense of stability. The unfortunate, yet familiar, injury to Chris Tanev once again reminded fans of the fragility of even the most robust defensive core, a stark reminder of the physical toll of the game. And the strategic demotion of Easton Cowan to the minors, a calculated move for development, sparked conversations about the future, about the next wave of talent. All these events, significant in their own right, have conspired to divert attention from a quiet, yet utterly impactful resurgence unfolding right under our noses, the return to dominant form of Auston Matthews. One thing head coach Craig Berube hasn't witnessed in his tenure with the Maple Leafs is Auston Matthews on a full-blown heater. A sometimes injured Matthews saw his production fall last year. Berube's first behind the bench, a season that by his own lofty standards felt somewhat muted, almost subdued. But the captain, with 3 goals in his last 3 games, seems ready to take off, to unleash the offensive torrent we've come to expect from the league's premier sniper. And yet, in a city obsessed with its hockey team, almost no one has noticed. Matthews, with characteristic understated brilliance, has quietly taken over the team lead in goals with 8. He's got more energy and life, Berube observed, a subtle but telling comment from a coach known for his directness. It feels like he's got a lot more jump in his game. 8 goals in 13 games equates to a blistering 50-goal pace, a number far more in tune with the expectations placed upon the league's most electrifying goal scorer. This isn't just a hot streak, it's a return to the dominant, game-breaking form that makes him one of the most feared players in the game. The last week or so, where my game has been at, I think is good, said Matthews, ever the professional, his voice betraying a quiet confidence. Getting good opportunities, good chances each game. Want to keep that going. His methodical approach to his craft, his unwavering focus, is a testament to his elite mentality. He doesn't need the headlines, he just needs the puck on his stick and the opportunity to make magic happen. But beyond Matthews' individual brilliance, a larger, more existential question looms over the Maple Leafs, a question that cuts to the very core of their identity. Where is the jump? That contagious energy, that relentless drive, that transforms a collection of supremely talented individuals into an unstoppable, cohesive force? Rocky B., a keen observer of the Leafs and a voice for the passionate fanbase, articulated this concern perfectly in a recent mailbag. The Leafs have no jump, he lamented, echoing a sentiment felt by many. When asked about who provides the contagious energy like a Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a player whose raw talent, infectious enthusiasm, and larger-than-life personality resonate deeply with the Toronto sports base, Coach Craig Berube pointed to Auston Matthews and a number of others that were nameless. Rocky's follow-up question was poignant. I haven't seen anyone. Should I be worried more about not having any jump or the coach not realizing it? No, Rocky, not to worry. The coach, for one thing, knows better than you and I what's going on. If it's negative, he'll never say. Berube comes closer than most coaches to candidness, but he'll always stay positive in his messaging, a crucial aspect of maintaining locker room morale and public perception. As for that jump, that certainly has been lacking up and down the lineup for most of this young season. It's been a noticeable absence, a missing ingredient in the team's overall recipe for success, leaving fans yearning for more consistent high-octane play. But I think we're starting to see it now. Matthews is scoring again, and as he goes, the rest often follows, a tide that lifts all boats. It's always there with the electrifying William Nylander, whose dazzling skill and effortless stride bring a consistent spark, and the ever-consistent John Tavares, whose veteran leadership and clutch scoring provide a steadying presence. These are players who bring a consistent level of intensity and skill, but the collective energy, that infectious, relentless drive, has been elusive. However, the question of a Vladdy on this team is a fascinating one, a deep dive into the intangible qualities that define true fan favorites and championship teams. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. embodies a unique blend of raw, undeniable talent, infectious enthusiasm, and a larger-than-life personality that resonates deeply with the Toronto fan base, transcending the sport itself. For the Leafs, finding anyone so talented and so revered, someone who truly captures the city's imagination with both their play and their persona, you'd probably have to go back to legends like Doug Gilmour or Wendell Clark, players who weren't just skilled, but who played with an undeniable heart and soul that electrified the entire arena. This isn't just about scoring goals. It's about an intangible spark, a collective belief that radiates from the ice and electrifies the stands, pulling everyone into the game. The search for that kind of emotional leader, that undeniable force of nature, continues, a quest for a player who can truly embody the city's passion. The conversation around team identity inevitably leads to the roster itself and the strategic decisions facing general manager Brad Treliving. Bill L., another insightful fan, raised intriguing questions about Max Domi and David Kämp, touching upon the delicate balance between current needs and future flexibility. The TSN insiders were discussing how badly the Vancouver Canucks need a second-line center and that they may have to settle for a 4 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Celsius type due to limited supply available at this time, Bill noted. Made me think of David Kämp, obviously, but how about Max Domi? Nothing against Max, but I don't think he brings a ton that the Leafs really need, and that $3.75 million might be nice cap space to bank, as well as draft picks, both of which could be valuable at the deadline. Is there such a thing as too much depth? Let's tackle David Kämp first. No question, the Leafs would move him, but only if the right, advantageous offer came along. Kämp is an NHL talent, and knows it. Reliable defensive center who can kill penalties with precision and take crucial face-offs in high-pressure situations. However, he's not necessarily a Berube-type player, meaning he might not perfectly align with the aggressive, relentless forechecking identity the new coach is trying to instill, an identity built on speed and constant puck pressure. The Leafs are in the driver's seat here, holding all the cards. He cleared waivers, so clearly the market doesn't value him highly enough to claim him outright, indicating that other teams aren't willing to take on his full contract without compensation. Kämp can terminate his own contract and sign as a free agent elsewhere, or the Leafs can find a taker in a trade. The Leafs can't buy him out. That opportunity passed with the offseason window. Crucially, the Leafs don't have a salary cap squeeze, so they can comfortably carry $1.25 million of his contract with $1.15 million buried as a minor leaguer, giving them significant leverage. Teams like Vancouver, despite their desperate need for a center, would be understandably reluctant to surrender a valuable asset for Kämp given his contract and recent waiver status. The optics of trading for a player who just cleared waivers are never ideal. The Leafs, meanwhile, are in no rush to trade him. They might even need him down the line, as depth at center is always a premium, especially in the grueling, injury-riddled playoffs. It's a waiting game, a strategic chess match where patience is key, and Treliving will not be forced into a suboptimal move. He'll wait for the right partner, the right price, or for Kämp's situation to resolve itself. As for Max Domi, that's an intriguing idea, Bill. The book on Domi is his maddening inconsistency. Brilliant one night, disengaged for a few games after that. He brings a certain offensive flair, a spark of creativity, and a welcome dose of grit, but his defensive game and overall reliability can be a significant question mark, making him a high-risk, high-reward proposition. Trading for Domi is not going to save Vancouver's season, but like you say, the market for centers is thin, almost barren. Stranger things have certainly happened in the NHL, where desperation can lead to unexpected moves. However, the prevailing sentiment is that this one is unlikely to happen. The Leafs value cap flexibility and draft picks, but Domi's unpredictable nature might make him a less appealing asset to move, especially if the return isn't substantial enough to justify parting with a player who on his best nights can be a game changer. The question of too much depth is a good one, but in the NHL, especially for a contender, true, effective depth is rarely a problem. It's having players who can step into any role and perform at a high level that truly matters, and that's a challenge every GM faces. And what about the right wing on Matthews and Mitch Marner's line? Bill suggests giving Kalle Jarnkrok a few games, or even a crazy idea like Nick Robertson. These are valid points. And indeed, the Leafs have struggled to find a consistent right winger for that top line, a player who can truly complement the offensive genius of Matthews and Marner. Jarnkrok offers reliability, a responsible two-way game, and a veteran presence, while Robertson brings pure offensive skill, a dangerous shot, and a hunger to prove himself. Experimentation is key, and finding that perfect complement for Matthews and Marner could unlock even more offensive potential, transforming an already potent line into an unstoppable force. Well, Todd, I think you and I can both agree that since you sent this question in, the team has turned things around somewhat. They're still not perfect, but they are a better version of themselves after their 13th game. They've won 5 of their last 6, including at least one game they had no business winning, a testament to their newfound resilience and ability to grind out victories even when not at their best. So, what's still not working? The power play is dreadful. It's been a consistent source of frustration, failing to capitalize on crucial opportunities, often looking stagnant and predictable. But less helpful on that front is the fact they don't earn power play time. They hardly draw any penalties. Last year, their leader in penalties drawn was Pontus Holmberg, who barely played a quarter of a game. This year, their leader in penalties drawn was Cowan, and they scratched him and sent him to the minors. This is a critical systemic issue. What they're lacking, to me, is a forceful, engaged forechecking game that truly forces the other teams to take infractions to slow you down. When a team is relentless on the puck, when they're constantly hounding opponents in their own zone, penalties become inevitable. More extra man advantages can only help the power play find its feet, build confidence, and ultimately become the weapon it's designed to be. It's a systemic issue, a reflection of the jump that's been missing, a lack of sustained pressure that wears down opponents and forces them into mistakes. On a positive note, what is working well? Matthews is scoring again, and that's always a good sign. His individual brilliance can paper over many cracks, masking deficiencies and keeping the team competitive. The rest of the team seems to be following his lead. finding ways to win even when not at their best, a testament to their growing maturity and resilience. And, as mentioned, the consistent energy and offensive prowess of William Nylander and John Tavares are always there, providing a reliable offensive punch that few teams can match. The team's ability to win ugly, to find ways to close out games even when they're not playing their best, is a positive development, a sign of maturity and resilience under Berube's guidance. It shows a mental toughness that will be crucial in the playoffs. So, the Toronto Maple Leafs find themselves at a fascinating, pivotal juncture. They are a team with undeniable talent, a superstar quietly returning to dominant form, and a newfound ability to grind out victories. Yet, they are also a team still searching for a consistent identity, a relentless, infectious jump, and a power play that can truly strike fear into opponents. The strategic decisions around players like Domi and Kämp will be crucial, balancing the desire for cap flexibility and future assets with the immediate need for effective depth and system compatibility. The road to the Stanley Cup is never easy, and it's rarely linear. It demands not just individual brilliance, but a cohesive, relentless team effort, a collective will to win that transcends individual statistics. The Leafs are showing signs of growth, of adapting to a new coaching philosophy, but the journey is far from over. The quiet resurgence of Matthews is a beacon of hope, a reminder of the immense talent within this roster, but the collective challenge remains. To transform potential into consistent championship-level performance, and to find that elusive jump that truly defines a contender. What do you think, hockey faithful? Is Auston Matthews' quiet scoring surge enough to propel the Leafs to the next level? Or do they need to make bolder, more decisive moves to address their systemic issues, particularly that missing jump and struggling power play? Should they prioritize finding that Vladdy type of infectious energy, or focus on refining their forecheck to draw more penalties? Let us know your passionate takes, your insights, and your predictions in the comments below. Drop a like on this video if you're as captivated by the Leafs' unfolding season as we are, watching every twist and turn of this compelling narrative. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis, exclusive reports, and spirited discussions on the biggest stories in hockey. Your engagement fuels our passion, and we absolutely love hearing your perspectives.